All right, is it up now?
Yeah, now we got you.
All right, let's start this again. Y'all want to hear the Shema again?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's get it again. For some reason, they had us blocked, family. We was up live at the proper time, but for some reason, they had us blocked.
You see the board, whoever this is, man? You see the kind of board, whoever this is? You see the same oh, that's your nephew. The ones that don't believe in the show? Yeah, you can hear them.
What do you put?
You don't believe in Jesus, and baby yourself and dance and lane. You the only begotten son and all this stuff.
Colin. I'll deal with that later. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
May the Most High be praised. All right, family. We're going to get started. We're going to get started. We're going to give our honor and praise unto the Most High King of all creation. Asking that He will guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, His people. Can I be heard in the listening audience? Can everyone hear? Okay, everybody can hear? All right. Today's lesson is going to be on Yom Teruach. Yom Teruach. There are a lot of philosophies and thoughts and ideals about what Yom Teruach are, what it is. A lot of different philosophies. For one, the Jewish man completely removes Yom Teruach from the equation by calling it Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah in Hebrew means head of the year. Rosh means head, Ha means the, Shana means year. So it's Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. And it has nothing to do with Yom Teruach because this is the 7th month. And in the 7th month, everything is dying. Nothing is being reborn like in the beginning. In the beginning, things start new. The beginning of a life is when the first child is first born, comes into existence. But when a person passes and deceases, who calls that the beginning? That's the beginning of his next life, maybe, not this one. Okay? So Rosh Hashanah has nothing to do with Yom Teruach. The month is the 7th month. The name of the 7th month is Etanim. Okay? The 7th month name is Etanim. E-T-H-A-N-E-M or E-Y-M. Etanim. Okay? So we're going to cover a little bit about Yom Teruach. In my understanding, what would be the reason for Yom Teruach? Now, in Yom Teruach, there is a shofar blast commanded to be blown in Yom Teruach. Shofar blast, which means that you were to blow the trumpets, the horns. Usually when Israel blew the horn, it was to alarm the people of something. It was to make you aware of something. A great noise, a great blowing was to let you know that something is going on and it needs your attention. Usually when we go out to war, think about this for a minute. When the children of Israel walked around Jericho for 7 days, on the 7 days they blew that shofar horn. Every 7 days. That horn is symbolic of a vibrational pitch. That horn also means noise, call. Call means voice or noise. That noise that we were hearing, what was it? Because through history, that's what we're really keeping a memorial of. That noise that's taking place, that call. That trumpet blast is the call. What was that trumpet blast that we was hearing? Let's turn to the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter first. And let's read about what this day is supposed to be about. How we're supposed to do it, how we're supposed to keep it, and how we're supposed to honor the Creator while doing so. What He requires of us. (23 and 23). Anybody like to read? Leviticus 23 and 23.
Leviticus 23 and 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Shabbat.
In what month?
The 7th month.
The 7th month. In the what day of the month?
First.
The 1st day of the month. How do you know when the 1st day of the month comes? How do you know? What sign is there to let us know when it is the 1st day of the month? The moon. But what moon are you looking for? What is the new moon? What is the new moon? What does it look like?
Sliver.
A slither. The first slither is considered to be the new moon. Well, a lot of people has a problem with that. I'm going to say the people who follow the Hillel calendar, the Jewish calendar, they on record say that they keep the first crescent. That's what that first slither of light means, first crescent. But if you trace back their history of when they kept their holy days, they kept it on the concealed moon or the conjunction and not the first crescent. For if they kept it on the first crescent as we do, the One Nation Calendar Coalition, if they kept it on the first crescent, then every one of their feast days will be kept in unison with us. Because we only keep it on the first crescent. They don't. But yet they profess that they do. If you research their history, you'll look through their history. They have a book, one book they call the Jewish Book of Why. I can't remember who's the author of the book, but just try to get your hands on a book, the Jewish Book of Why. And in the Jewish Book of Why, they explain when the new moon is. And in the Jewish Book of Why, it says that the new moon is kept on the first visible slither of light, the crescent moon. But yet, when you look at their calendars, go back at least 3 years ago, because for the last 2 years, they've been keeping it with us, almost every holy day. So go back about 3 years ago and look at their calendar, they're all over the place. They'll keep it on the concealed moon, they'll keep it on the crescent moon, they'll keep it on the concealed moon. You have to understand that the Jewish man, although they have preserved our history for us, you have to understand that they're not us. Okay. So they're not going to have what we are required to have when we come back until the awakening. You understand? Okay. They're not going to have that. It's going to take the true blood, which issues and runs through your veins in order for this thing to be done right, correctly. It's no big deal for them, although they profess that it is. It's not. For years, they have been the leaders of our heritage. And a lot of our people, the children of Israel, who come up and waken up into the knowledge of the Most High, we gravitate toward Judaism for whatever reason. But a lot of us go by the way of Judaism to accept the teachings of the Creator. Another error. Something else that shouldn't be done. Why would you go to your enemies to teach you about your Creator? It's foolishness, but yet that's what we do. So anyway, there are a lot of Israelites who keep the holy days based on the proclamation of the Jewish man. Whenever the Jewish man says this is when the holy day is, they do it. They follow the Jewish calendar. We have our own calendar. We have our own community that gets together and determine when the Most High's holy days are. We don't need the Europeans for their whatever they call it. What do they postponement dates? What they have is they have like a certain day that, let's say if the Day of Atonement was going to be on a Friday, right? If it was going to fall on a Friday, the Jewish man says Friday would be the Day of Atonement, which would be a Shabbat, and then Saturday would be the weekly Shabbat. They don't have enough time to prepare for the weekly Shabbat on Saturday, so they will postpone and move the Day of Atonement from Friday and maybe put it on Sunday or another day. But they don't have it naturally falling on its consistent days as it should. And we have Israelites who are well aware of this, knowledgeable Israelites who are well aware of these postponement rules, and they still follow the Hillel or the Jewish calendar. This Hillel calendar that they follow today is not the original calendar that our forefathers followed. It's not what our forefathers established. It's not. If it was, then they would still be doing it based on the first visible slither of the moon, the first visible crescent, but they don't. They do their own thing. So let's read. Let's see what the Most High says in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the 23rd verse. Read on, please.
Leviticus 23 and 24.
23 and 23.
All right, start on.
Your book might be a little different, but start at 23 and 23.
Okay. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and a holy convocation.
So this day is a Shabbat. All of our holy days are Shabbat. All of them. But some people don't believe that. Some people don't accept that these days are Shabbat. Some people only believe that the weekly Shabbat and the Day of Atonement are Shabbat, which means you can't work, no cooking, no warming up your food, no having sex with your wife. You see, people got to know these things because a lot of us, we've been in Israel for a long time and we don't know how to keep the Shabbat properly. Yes?
Okay, I'm no snitch, but the way we came up at the place where I was, on the holy days, you know, like Sukkot, they would say that in preparing of the meals, that they would go to the market, like if they forgot something or the juice or the ice or whatever, that they would spend money on a Sabbath day, on the holy day.
Exodus, the 16th chapter tells you to prepare your food for the Shabbat the day before.
Okay.
So if you're preparing your food the day before as you're commanded, as the Creator said, and you forgot something, then yeah, you can go to the store. But on the Shabbat day, you shouldn't be spending any money. You shouldn't be doing any business. You shouldn't be conducting any business on the Shabbat day. So that would alleviate that equation. They were to prepare their meals the day before.
Now, I've seen people on the Feast of Unleavened, the feast day, you know, after Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Or
That's a holy day.
right, that they would go to the store and get stuff for the
No,
holy.
you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
That's a violation. Something that shouldn't be. Okay.
Go ahead.
I think he needs some assistance with something. Do you want to read the rest of that for me, please? The rest of that information? Leviticus 23 and 23.
Leviticus 23 and 23. And Yah spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, ye shall have a Shabbat, a memorial blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation.
Is that the conclusion?
Ye shall do no civil work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yah.
Okay. A Teruach. Teruach is you find that in the concordance, what is that concordance that they have? Strong's concordance, under the number 7321. It's a clamor, that is an acclamation of joy or a battle cry, especially clang of a trumpet or an alarm, a blowing, joy, jubilee, loud noise, rejoicing, shouting, high praise, and singing. This is the Most High setting a declaration for this day. But if you notice, the Most High never tells us what Yom Teruach is really all about. He just tells us to do it and keep this day. Keep it a day of a blowing, of a noise. We don't know what that noise is. We don't know why we're being commanded to keep this. A lot of people go to their own understanding and determine why they feel like they want to do it. But according to the noise, or the greatest noise that I've ever seen written in the Tanakh, is the noise that we're going to discuss today as to why the Most High would have us to keep the Day of Atonement on this day and have it as a shofar blast pertaining to a noise or a loud sound. Right?
Okay.
Let's go to the book of Exodus, the 19th chapter. Exodus, the 19th chapter. Anybody got it?
Okay.
You want to read, please?
Start at 1.
Okay.
Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim.
Now, Rephidim.
Rephidim.
Rephidim was a place in Exodus 17 where you read about many atrocities taking place with the children of Israel. We were at war and we had a battle, we had a fight. Many tragedies happened to our people. You find that in 17:1. We didn't have any water for the people to drink. You find it also in 17:8 when the Amalekites attacked us. Remember the Amalekites came in and attacked us and destroyed all of our people, a lot of our people. And 17:14, the Most High said to Moses, for this is a memorial in a book, and rehearse it. Write it as a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalekite from amongst you. And Moses built the altar and called the name of it, the Creator Nasi. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and did obedience and kissed him. Going before the mountain to Moshe was like if you were going into the tabernacle of the Almighty. A lot of things happened to us in Rephidim. We had a war. And right after the war, we come into the 19th chapter, and now the Most High says in the 19th chapter, now I want you to have a memorial of a blowing of a trumpet. Mm-hmm. That blowing of the trumpet was what we did when we went out to war. We blew the trumpet to alert the people. So I'm associating and tying all this in, that warfare, that struggle, that all that battle, into the reason why the Most High, who brought us out of the battle victoriously, this is the reason why he wanted us to keep Yom Teruach, that holy day. So let's pick up in 19:1 again, please. Exodus 19:1.
Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai.
What happened in Rephidim, please? Somebody tell me. Why did he mention Rephidim? What took place in Rephidim?
Fighting, war.
Say it again.
War.
With who?
The Amalekites.
Okay. And what else happened in Rephidim?
What what we the tribulation that we went through.
Can anybody else tell us what happened in Rephidim? Nobody else heard all that talking that I was just doing a few minutes ago. Nobody paid attention to none of that. Okay, then you better go back and watch the video. You got it up? Do you know? All right. Yeah, we still playing around. Do y'all come to learn? Is that what we come to do? Do we come to learn? If I told you I got $1 million locked up in this box, right? $1,001. Here's the combination: 32, 45, 45. How many of you will forget that? You'll remember it or you'll forget it?
Well, we was actually,
If it's something for you to obtain, you're supposed to retain this knowledge. And I'm not here to just talk and teach and just be speaking to entertain you. We're not in church. I'm trying to enrich you, give you something you can take with you the rest of your life. Okay?
I was too busy disagreeing with what you were saying at the time.
What you disagreeing with?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I don't want to
what
break it down
happens.
right now.
That's usually what happens. Rephidim. When you get a chance, you go back and watch the videos and you'll find out what took place in Rephidim. I'm not going to keep telling you. Make me have to keep repeating myself. We all grown. Ain't no children. The baby upstairs sleep. Oh, he over there?
No.
Oh, I thought they had the baby over there. They said the baby upstairs sleep. He ain't over here. None of y'all children. You got to hear just one time. You're supposed to know this thing. All right? What happened in Rephidim? Somebody tell me. War. What else?
They departed.
What did we experience in Rephidim?
We ain't have enough water.
We ain't have enough water. Somebody cheating. I mean, somebody listening.
No, I'm not even. I don't have enough because I'm on something else right now.
Yeah, several tragedies happened to us. But let's read on, because we got to bring this thing back to life so that y'all leave here educated, learning something today. Okay? Pick up where you left off, please. Exodus 19.
Exodus 19, verse 2. For they were departed from Rephidim and were coming to the desert of Sinai.
So we came into the desert of Sinai. What happened in the desert of Sinai?
They pitched in the wilderness.
Stop for a second, please. What happened in the desert of Sinai? Anybody remember the desert of Sinai?
So which part?
What happened in Sinai?
With the calf when we disobeyed? Or?
Y'all remember the story of Moses?
Yeah.
When he left Egypt fleeing for his life? Where did he go?
Sinai.
To Mount Sinai?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did he experience at Mount Sinai?
The burning bush.
The burning bush.
The Creator.
But most importantly, he
Representative.
communed with the Creator in Sinai.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all with me?
I'm with you.
So now the whole nation is leaving Egypt, and we're going to where the Most High sat down with Moshe and spoke with him. So now we all at the foot of the mountain, all encamped around the foot of. Y'all got to pay attention because this is important.
Yeah.
We all encamped around the foot of the mountain where the Creator communed with Moshe. This is a holy, sacred place.
Right.
You got to be on your best behavior.
Okay.
You got to be as clean as possible. You about to behold the presence of the Almighty. Is that right?
Okay.
The whole nation. Is that right?
Okay.
All right, read on. Let's see where we at.
And there Israel camped before the mountain.
And there, the children of Israel camped out before the mountain. Read on.
3. And Moses went up unto Yah.
So Moses left the people and he went up to the Creator.
Yes.
Read on.
Now you go.
And Yah called unto him out of the mountains, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on the eagle wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people.
If you will obey my voice and do what?
Keep my covenant.
And do what?
Keep my covenant.
Believe in somebody died for your sins.
Keep my covenant.
Just keep his covenant?
Keep his covenant.
Okay. What happens if you obey his voice and keep his covenant. What did he say would take place?
It make you a particular people.
He will make you a particular people. What else?
And above all people.
And above all nations of the earth. Did we complete that? Did we obey his voice?
No.
Did we?
No.
So we failed then, right?
Okay.
So that means that if you don't do this, you get the reverse of the covenant or the promise that I gave to you, right?
Okay.
Israel, as we know, did not do what we said we would do before the Creator. Therefore, we were cursed. We were sent into captivity. We were punished. A lot of our people died. Many of our people died. Many of our people were suffering and are still suffering. But in order for you to release yourself of all that suffering and pain and hard times, what is it that you need to do?
Keep his covenant.
Do what you agreed to do to keep your word. Return back to the laws of the Almighty and keep that covenant and obey his voice. But the problem is, too many of us can't do that. When we return, we want to return back and bring the filth with us as we return. We keep thinking we can return to the Creator and bring prostitution every weekend or every Thursday night or Friday night in the back seat of a car.
It's Thursdays and Sundays.
We think that we're okay with that.
This guy.
We think that we can return to the Creator and bring back that pork chop. You know, we think we can return to the Creator and keep lying on people. Keep lying about situations. Keep making up and fabricating stories, but yet pretend that we are a righteous individual worthy of respect. When we return back to the Creator, we have to truly return fully and leave all that stuff behind. There's so much stuff that we do in the dark because there's not people watching and keeping track of what we do. We forget that the Most High is watching. But we'll come to places like this on the Shabbat day and proclaim and pretend to be holier than thou. Oh, you can't touch me today. You unclean. Did you bathe? Did you wash yourself before the sun went down? If not, you can't touch me. I took my bath before the Shabbat. As soon as the Shabbat over, he's back on the street tripping. See, it's the state of the mind of the man that determines the righteousness of the man. Read on that, please.
6. Exodus 19:6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
And we shall be unto the Most High what?
A kingdom of
A
priests.
kingdom of priests. There are a lot of people today that promote that the children of Israel are a kingdom of priests. What do you want to say, Ak? He wants to say something. He's ready to go off. I just got to let it out. What do you want to say, Ak?
No.
Let it out.
Listen.
Say it.
In the sight of the other nations, I believe we are going to be the embodiment of the law and our righteousness. And that's where you're going to be a kingdom of priests. But I don't want no regular Hebrew Israelite walking up to me telling me he was a priest or prince or anything else. Because that's not your job. You understand what I'm saying? If we're all a kingdom of priests, that means I'm a priest, you're a priest, everybody's a priest, right? Don't tell me that you're above me and we're all rank and file, regular Israelites, and you don't know anything. But like during the week, when I'm with my Iranian homies, I can show them righteousness because I walk with the Creator as much as right. But when this rank and file Israelites, don't come at me with the priest or priestess situation. Continue. I'm good. But that just that hurts me when I hear that everybody's trying to be a priest.
But this is what I need to bring your attention to.
I'm listening.
Go back to verse 5 and read from 5, complete 6. Because it's something that we are missing. So many people utilize this scripture to say that the nation of Israel is a kingdom of priests. But are we?
Only in our righteousness.
Read on, please.
Exodus 19:5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure.
Then,
Right.
if you obey my voice and keep my covenant, then I shall make you a nation of priests. Is that right?
Yeah.
But did we do that?
No.
So if we didn't do it, then what are we?
Regulars.
We're not a nation of priests. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now, in order for you to get back what was promised to you and become a nation of priests, what must you do?
Keep his covenant.
Keep his covenant and obey his voice.
Okay.
And then Isaiah 44 will come to light. You will be his servant, and you will be a light to the Gentiles,
Yes.
for all the nations to see. As of right now, there are so many of us just doing our own thing and not giving the Creator his props. We're not obeying his voice. We're not walking in his commands. We're not doing what Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, tells us to do, to return back unto the Most High. In order for you to return back to something, that means that you have had to have once been somewhere.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay.
Okay. So if you're going to return back to the Creator, then when were you there? Ask yourself that question, family. When were you in a state of righteousness and bliss, in the presence of the Almighty, doing what it is that he has commanded for us to do? Not in this lifetime. So you can't return if you ain't never been there.
Okay.
But you were there. And we're going to talk about it right now. Read on, please.
Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yah commanded him.
They set out a covenant. Moses was the orchestrator of a covenant that the Most High gave. Moshe brought it to the people. But here we go to, he went to the elders of the people. Read on. Let's see what happens.
And all the people answered together and said,
What did the people do?
Answer.
They answered together. The elders took it to the people, and all the people agreed. We entered into a covenant with the great King of all creation. We entered into a covenant that we will obey your voice and keep your commands and become that nation of priests that you have for us to become. Did we keep that covenant?
No.
We want to hold on to idolatry. The Creator says, thou should not have any other power before the Most High, your power.
Okay.
Never. But yet we do. I heard a situation this morning with this man who practiced Christianity. And he was saying this prayer to the Creator. I said, oh man, this is wonderful. This man is giving glory to the Creator. And then he turned right around and said, and to Jesus, my Lord and Savior.
There we go.
And we don't think that's a problem. But read on. Let's see where we at.
all that the Lord has spoken, we will do.
That's what we said.
We said
All that the Creator has spoken, we will do. Read on.
And Moses returned the words of the people unto Yah.
And Moses sealed the covenant by taking it back to the Most High King, the word that all the people agreed to do. Now watch what happens after this.
And Yah said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud.
He says, I come unto you in a thick cloud. A thick cloud. Watch this.
That the people may hear when I speak with thee.
That the people may hear when I speak with you, Moses. So I'm going to let the people know who you are to me. They're going to bear record that I speak unto you. See, a lot of people today, they stand up prophetess and priests and all kind of things. And the Most High never verified and proved these people and shown these people. There's a lot of people stand up on their own right. And I think that's what my brother talking about. He's talking about you a prince and you working for UPS. Or even if you're a prince and you work for somebody who got a legitimate job that's paying a lot of money, you still a slave. So how can you claim the title of prince and you work for somebody else? But you want to be a prince to your nation. On the Shabbat day, you stand up regal and royal. Shalom. I am Prince Melchizedek, king of the Europeans. Whatever it is. But you can't do that. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is that you do, but you have that form of freedom. You could have your own trash company or tire company, or you could be on washing windows. You could be doing whatever you do, but you work for you. You don't have no boss. There is nobody over you that's going to dictate policy to you. When the Shabbat day come around, a prince should be able to take off without informing somebody, hey, employer, I want to take off next Friday after next because it's the Day of Atonement. Is that okay with you, master?
You should never have to give a prince one of those papers to get excused for a holy day. You understand what I'm saying? When a prince walk up to you and say, can I get one of those papers? So I give my boss, rip it up and tell him, man, don't even worry about it. You ain't no prince.
I can't tell he ain't no prince. That's going to start a
Because
fight.
I ain't no prince.
That's going to start a fight.
Don't do that. I'll do it.
This is real. This is real. What I'm saying to you is real.
Or
We don't live up to what we say we're living up to. We don't live up to it. If you hold a title of nobility in the nation of Israel, you should earn it. Like, for example, you're a Moray. How you a Moray and you can't teach nobody else how to get out of captivity? Or how to be free to the extent of freedom that we get to explore this day? Your credit bad. You ain't got no credit. You don't own anything. You don't have a job. You living off of your woman. She's paying the bills. She's going out working while you sitting back chilling. But you the moray of a Knesset. Oh, I know how you make your money. The people taking care of you. All those people that's in your Knesset is paying your bills. I forgot about that. That's right. How many congregations we got like that?
Too many.
A lot of them. But the men walk around proud, taking 3 and 4 nashim, 3 and 4, proud about it. And all this is being done in the name of the Creator. Evil. Let's read on, please. How are we a nation of priests, the way we conduct ourselves? Read on. Boy, you got to hear that boy Prince. Let me share this video so you can get this message out here to these people. They got to hear this boy, what he talking about. Share this video. I got to bring some friends in here. Go ahead, get it in now. Where we at?
Start over at 9.
Exodus chapter 19, verse
9.
Okay, verse 9.
Go back. And Yah said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever.
And believe it for how long?
Forever.
Forever. Read on.
And Moses told the words of the people unto Yah. And Yah said unto Moses, Go unto the people and sanctify them today.
Now, I need you to pay attention. The Creator tells Moshe to go unto the people and do what?
Sanctify.
What does that mean?
Cleanse.
Cleanse them. Make them holy. Make them right. Clean them up. For what reason?
It'll be a kingdom of priests.
So they can do what? Approach to the Most High.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now, when we approach the Most High in prayer, do we take the time to sanctify ourselves? Do we take the time to cleanse ourselves?
Both.
Or do we just pop up and we all dirty and stinky, just got finished laying down, going to the bathroom, doing all type of things, and get up on the floor, oh, Creator, forgive me, that's your
Let me wash them hands first.
We don't even wash our hands. We just get up out the bed. We just lay with our wives, our nashim. We dirty, filth, semen all over us.
Whoa, fam.
We all messed up. We all messed up. No, honestly, it sounds like I'm being vulgar, but I got to give it to you the way you are. We all grown, at least most of us. And we're unclean. But when that 5 o'clock hour comes and we got to get up and make prayer at 5 o'clock, what do? We get up in our filth and go prostrate ourselves on the floor to the Creator. This is being set here as an example that you don't just approach the Most High any way you want.
Okay.
You have to be in a certain condition. Mentally, your mind got to be right. You can't be arguing with your wife and then 5 minutes later get over there and make prayer. It don't work that way. It don't. There's confusion there. Because you still have that negative energy, that negative spirit, but yet you're going before the presence of the Almighty. Whenever you make prayer, that's what you're supposed to be doing. going before the Most High King.
Okay.
And as the Most High said to the people, Moshe, I want you to go down there and sanctify the people. Tell them to not come near their wives for 3 days. Why? I didn't want you arguing with her. I didn't want you having sex with her. I didn't want her to be unclean by issue of her nida, her cycle, her monthly cycle, and contaminate you. I don't want you to have any excuse not to be able to come before me. Although he's going to change the whole plan up, but this is what he said he wanted us to do. To be sanctified, set apart. What verse you on? 14?
10.
Okay, read it again, please.
And Yah said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today
Sanctify the people today
and tomorrow,
and tomorrow, for in 3 days, read on,
and let them wash their clothes,
read on,
and be ready against the third day.
uh-huh.
So the third day Yah will come down in the sight of all the people.
For on the third day, the Most High was going to appear before the people. Now, we weren't going to touch the Most High. It's just that our spiritual presence was going to behold the Almighty. So we had to be spiritually prepared, which means we had to be physically, ritually clean to present ourselves before the Almighty. But so many of us don't understand how important that is when it's time for us to make prayer. We make prayer any old kind of way. Some of us still got dirt on the bottom of our feet when we make prayer. Go wash your feet, bathe your feet, wash your hands, and present yourself before the Almighty. If you're unclean, stand up and say, Todah Rabbah Avi, acknowledge the Most High, lay back down and go to sleep so that he'll know that you still want to respect him and give him his honor, but you're unclean. So that he doesn't feel like you just laying in the bed being lazy and don't feel like getting up. Because if you do that, then the Most High has a problem with you. If you worship the Most High and it's 5 o'clock, it's time to make prayer, and you're in the bed asleep, your alarm go off 5 o'clock, and then you roll over in the bed and prostrate on the bed and say, oh, I'll be pleased, forgive us of our sins and strengthen us. And then you finish your prayer and you roll back over and go back to sleep. You didn't make prayer. You're an abomination. If you can't take the time out of your day to go out of your way for a few minutes to convene with the Almighty, then something's wrong with you. You're not worthy of what the Most High has been giving you. At least make an attempt to show him that you reverence him, that you respect him. Take that time out of your day to just take a few minutes and step to the side. From whatever you're doing, no matter what time of the day, step to the side and acknowledge the Most High Great King, the Master of all creation, your sustainer, your provider, your creator. Acknowledge him. Let's read on, please.
Let's start back at 11. And be ready against the third day. For the third day of Yah will come down into the sight of all the people unto Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about.
Set bounds around the mountain, around the foot of the mountain. Read on.
Saying, take heed to yourself,
Don't let nobody come up here. Read on.
that ye go not up into the mountain.
Don't come up into the mountain. Don't even touch the perimeter that I set. Right, read on.
Or touch the border of it.
Read on.
Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death.
She'll be what?
Surely put to death.
Now you defy the Most High's commands and watch what happens to you. You'll be put to death. Some people can be told that there's a death sentence waiting for them and they'll still do the thing that you would think that they wouldn't do. Read on that.
There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long.
When what sounds long?
Oh, you got me.
The trumpet. When the trumpet sounds long. Now that trumpet is call. That call is voice. When that trumpet sounds long, what should we do? What's the day today?
Yom Teruach.
Yom Teruach. Pertaining to that call, that noise, that sound, that trumpet blast. Read on, please.
they shall come up to the mountain.
They shall come up to the mountain. Keep reading, because I want you to get that out. You got to get that out your system. Let it go. Go ahead.
And Moses went down from the mountain unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes.
Now, what verse you on?
15.
Read on 15.
And he said unto the people,
Be ready against the third day. Come not unto your wives. Now, that word for come not unto your wives, that word is nagash. It's a primitive root. And it says, and I'm going to read the definition for you, what it says, because I need you to get the deep understanding of how these scriptures come to life when you take your time and research things. It says, to be or come, causative, to bring near. Don't come physically near your wives. You're not sheen. You follow me? So if you can't come near her, that means you ain't having intercourse and then going to go present yourself before the Creator. By a reason that would make you unclean, the Most High is saying don't do it. But there's other reasons why the Most High is saying don't come near your wife. And I'm going to read those reasons right here. Don't come near purposely for any purpose, effeministically to lie with a woman as an enemy and attack, religiously to worship. He's trying to tell you to prevent coming near her for many reasons. What do you mean worship your wife? Well, if the Most High says sanctify yourself, come not near your wife, and you defy him, then you just made your wife your what?
Well,
That's right. What did you say, Prince?
yo, man.
I'll say it again. If the Most High tells you to come not near your wife, and you defile him, you defy what he said, and you go near your wife anyway, you just made your wife your what? That's right. When a woman is unclean, she on her cycle, she's to be set apart for 7 days and be unclean on the 8th day. You follow me? Those are the words of the Most High. He says don't come near her during that time. And if you do it, you just made her what? Your idol. You just worshipped her.
You just put her before me.
That's right.
And that's why.
That's right.
That,
You put her before the Most High. Yeah.
Oh!
You know how many men do that?
Why did you drop this drill on me like 4 weeks ago?
I did 10 years ago.
Wow.
I did 10 years ago. You didn't listen.
No, you was on. Yo,
A
listen.
lot of people don't listen.
Somebody finna be repenting like,
This is a fact. This is a fact. Prince didn't make this up. It's all throughout the law, but so many Israelites don't pay attention to it. Oh, we only got one bed. We only got one bathroom. Sleep on the floor. Use the bathroom at the dollar store.
the Creator is worthy.
That's right. The Most High is worthy. Go to your homie house and use the bathroom. Matter of fact, just go about your mom's basement upstairs and use the bathroom.
Basement,
This is the reality. When the Most High says don't do something, you don't do it. But the problem is, we make all these idols and we put the Most High last. Because it's convenient for us.
A lot of people not teaching this stuff, bro. Like, it's a good lesson, but a lot of people,
I know this.
No, but what?
I know a lot of people not teaching this. You know why they're not teaching it? Because they doing it.
Exactly.
They doing it. And that's why they're not teaching it. It's not that they don't know. They don't believe that part of the book. The only part of the Tanakh that you believe is that part that you do. If you don't do it, it's because you don't believe it. Don't come in here talking about you know Hebrew Israelite, you serve the Creator, Him alone, you don't practice idolatry, because you do. Every time you put something before the Most High for your convenience or for your pleasure or because they desire it, you have just made that person or that thing greater than the Almighty in your sight, which means you have just practiced idolatry. That's idolatry, and that's what you're guilty of. But so many Hebrew Israelites, you know, I'm gonna take this Shabbat to the head. You
Take
know.
it to the head.
Yeah, we got to, man. You know.
I invented taking the Shabbat.
Hey, listen, I ain't got but one bathroom, man. That's all I can do, man. My wife unclean. This her time of the month. I ain't gonna have sex with her, but we gotta sleep in the same bed. Where I'm gonna sleep on the floor?
You hit that couch.
Yeah, on the floor, on the couch, in a chair, at somebody else's house. Do what you gotta do to obey the Creator, because when you don't, you have just made something else your power. And the Most High says that He ain't giving His glory to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, what about the people? I'm asking for a friend. What about the people that say we're perpetually unclean in the land, and the state of being clean is ritually clean, and we have no priesthood, and yada 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 there.
Didn't we cover that last night?
Yeah, but I understand what you're
Was no
saying.
priesthood present then, was it?
Not at this time.
So for anybody who wanted the answer to that, go back and watch the video from last night. And it'll tell you how your sins will be removed and how you'll be ritually clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that simple. No blood sacrifice was required.
Right.
You just had to confess your sins before the Almighty and turn not in your evil ways again.
Okay.
So whatever you did prior, you remove it by doing what?
Repent and
That's
change.
It's just that simple. The Most High knew we would be in captivity. He knew we would be here. So what, we supposed to stop serving Him? Everybody
Question.
finds an excuse.
So, more so like for his question, is it about, which I'm assuming the answer, probably answer my own question, but is it about the effort?
Absolutely.
It's the effort.
It's always about the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And the completion of that effort.
Okay.
You don't just get up out the bed and say, oh, screen step, oh, Creator, I tried to get out the bed. I couldn't, but I made the effort, so, acknowledge that. No, it don't work like that. Is Facebook still running?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had you.
Yeah, I lost it down here, but it's cool.
Okay.
It's not about that. You have to complete that effort. You have to go through that process. Okay? Where we at? Oh, I'm still reading.
Right.
Now, religiously to worship. Now remember, this is all about approaching to that woman. The Most High says, don't approach unto her. And now these are some of the reasons. And if you do against what He said for you to do, then you have disrespected Him and you have made whatever that thing is your idol. And you put it before the Almighty. It says causative to present, figuratively to advance and to induce an argument. Do I need to read that part again? He don't even want you to argue with your wife. So don't go near her so y'all won't even get into no argument, no disagreements. Why was that important?
Because whatever you're talking about is going, now you're putting that in front of the Creator.
Unclean lips.
Mindset.
There you go.
Unclean mind. Your thoughts aren't
Focus on the Most High. It's arguing.
Correct.
Mindset, you're not strict.
You're not.
Your mindset is not clear.
I got another reason.
Your spirit is out of order. And how can you bring a discombobulated mind in the presence of the Almighty and fully understand what He has for you to hear? Yes?
I got one. Just hear me out. This might be off because I'm just going by the women I deal with. Stay away from your Isha or because she might try to talk you into coming with her. Like just leave coming with her to the mountain. Our women will be like, why can't I go? Well, I'm going anyway. They're like, no, you gotta stay home. Stay away from her for 3 days because you're gonna have an argument about why I can't go. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a priestess too. I'm making light of it, but y'all know. You understand what I'm saying? Just don't go near her so you can even have that argument.
Okay.
Stay away from her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then come back and then everything's cool. But if you stick to the second day or the night before, where you going? I'm going over it. What you putting your clothes on for too? You are he said no women. Yeah, well, I don't know what y'all got going on over here. I want to see. and then she lose her head.
That's when she don't trust you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to Georgia. I'm coming too.
You're a righteous man. And you told your woman she couldn't go. She wouldn't argue with you.
Right.
It's when she can't trust you and she got to put her clothes on because she heard about what takes place in the backseat of your car. See?
Wow.
So she think you about to go do something else like you did before. She can't trust you. She watching.
I'm coming to you.
That's how they go. That's right. I'm coming right with you. That's what she said.
Stay away from each other.
But, and I mean this, what I'm saying.
Yes.
When you live a certain way by the book, and you don't waver to the left or the right, but yet you're firm in the way that you live, those who are closest to you will respect you. But when you claim to live by the book, and then you're wavering left and right whenever you feel or whenever the mood hits you, they won't respect you. They won't trust you. They won't respect you. They won't even desire to be with you. Because her soul is really searching for Mr. Righteous. Somebody who can elevate her and take her to the next level. And if you're not that one, eventually time is the true teller of all things. Just a matter of time before she finds out. And when she finds out that you're not, she don't even know what she's searching for. She don't even know. She doesn't even know. But her soul is searching for that. And when she see that you got all these fallacies, all these weaknesses, and all these inconsistencies, she's out. She out. She gone. She start losing respect for you. She start disliking you. She become a problem. It becomes aggravating. It becomes hard to deal with them. And it's all because you wasn't a man of your word. You said, I'm going to do such and such at such and such time on a such and such date. And you failed everything that you said you were going to do. Didn't do none of it. And then she called you on it and you got mad. You got attitude. Didn't I tell you stop talking about that? Well, yeah, I know what I said, but you're wrong, huh? You're wrong. Own up to it. You got to be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, then do everything in your power to do it.
Walk in integrity.
Walk in your integrity. That's right.
I learned that.
Walk in your
I
integrity.
learned that through trial and error.
That's right.
Because if you keep your word is always the thing. You can not feel good one day. You can have bad health for a stretch or have no money, but your word will stand alone.
That's right.
It'll always come back. You'll notice the bread will come back. You'll get better. But if you shaky on your word the way you are with your money and your health, you got to keep your word. And that'll keep your relationship going because they'll always can lean on your word that he keeps his word.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That brother right there taught me about my word. Even though I'm shaky on my word, but he taught me about, keeping your word. Like you coming to Georgia to put these windows in? I don't want to talk about work on the Shabbat, but come on down, keep your word. I don't want to go, but I gotta go because I kept my word.
Nigga can't. He ain't lying. He can't because we bought him an airline ticket. Say, come on.
Yo, man,
we wouldn't have bought him a ticket. He
I go
wasn't
look at
coming.
the email. I look at the email like, yo, these small things like this brother, your son. I'm sitting there, brother, enjoying my little liquid breakfast around the thing. He's like, yo, man, come on around, take a look at this work. And I go, I'm sitting here drinking my smoothie. Let me go around and look at this word. You gotta keep your word, and it starts with the small stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
If you can't keep the small stuff, you might.
Don't even go with anything else. I know we went off on a tangent, but the men, this is for the men that's out there.
That's right.
The men, your word is the number one thing because it's going to outlast your money. Your money, you can go home tomorrow, you got no money.
That's right.
Or you can catch, be sick for a week. But if you got your word, it's going to be good. It's going to pull you out. Somebody come pick you up to get you straight if your word is straight. But people don't even want to be with you if your word's shaky.
If you're known to be a liar, known to be inconsistent, even your children will turn against you.
Because you didn't keep your
Because you didn't keep your word.
Mhm.
I still remember to the day when my aunt lied to me. And I was a little boy, like 4 or 5 years old.
Mhm.
My great aunt, my mother's aunt,
Mhm.
my great aunt lied to me. When I was a little boy, she told me, I'm going to buy you a toy Indian, okay? And I'll never forget it. She passed now. May the Creator bless her soul. Her lying. She told me when I was a boy, I'm going to buy you an Indian, okay? I never got that Indian to the day. And every time I saw her, I would remind her, where's my Indian? Oh, I'm going to get it for you. She never got it. When she passed, she might have been 65, 70 years old. She never brought me my Indian. And I'm 39, 40 years old now. And I still ain't got my Indian. That's a shame. And I've been waiting for it. But your word is important. I still remember that lie she told me all them years ago. That's why it's so important. You think you ain't got to tell the truth to children, but you do. You got to be honest even with children. Because it's building their integrity. If you show them a good role model and a good example, that's what they most likely will become. All right? So now, you also, the Most High tells you to avoid arguments. Don't go to your wife because she don't want you dealing with no arguments. He don't want to change your spirit. He want to keep you in the right mindset to come before him. It's to stand back, to approach. Don't bring near, hither. Cause to cease, come hither, give place, go hard upon, draw near, nigh, offer, untake, present, put up, and stand. He doesn't want us to do any of those things. So pick up where we left off at, please.
14?
15.
Exodus 19 and 15. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mountain, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
Now, I need you to read this slowly, and I need everybody to pay attention to what's being said here. Read it again, please.
Exodus 19 and 16. And it came to pass in the third day in the morning that there was thunders and lightnings.
There was thunder and lightning.
And a thick cloud upon the mountain.
And a thick cloud upon the mountain. So now the children of Israel is at the foot of the mountain. They're looking up now. Thick cloud upon the mountain. Thundering and lightning. And you know how black folks scared of lightning and thunder.
To this day.
You know how we scared of lightning. Yeah, we afraid of lightning and thunder, aren't we? When it start lightning, some people really run and go get into bed when it start thundering. They're afraid of it. They hear that, and they're afraid. It brings the fear in them. So now I need to paint the scenery so you'll see what's going on. Read on, please.
And a thick cloud upon the mountain, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud.
Now the voice of the trumpet waxed exceedingly loud. Before you say this, I want to say this to you. It says the voice of the trumpet. Kol is the voice. Trumpet got a voice? I want to lay this out for you so that you understand what's taking place. All the surrounding nations was around us. What they heard was a trumpet blast. But what we heard was a voice. We heard the voice of the Creator through that blast. All they heard is like camouflage. All they heard was, I know it was good, wasn't it? I know. That's all they heard. But what we heard was, thou shalt not murder. I am the Creator, thy Elohim. Thou shalt have no other power before me. And y'all still don't understand what's taking place until I break it down for you. I'm not going to break it down. Let the scripture break it down. The nations that was around us heard the trumpet blast. But the children of Israel, we heard a voice in that noise, in the midst of all that confusion. And it was a powerful voice. The book says it was mighty. was a gadol, was great and mighty voice that we heard. Read on, pick up where you left off, and let's watch how it goes.
So that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
All the people, that voice was so strong, everybody was afraid. They were trembling. They were so scared that they said, oh, Creator, don't speak with us no more. That's too much for us to bear.
Yeah.
We're afraid we're going to die. Please don't speak to us no more. Give us a prophet and let him speak in your name. Because we can take his voice, but we can't take yours. All the people are standing at the foot of the mountain, hearing the Most High, as he said, as he spoke to Moshe. He's actually speaking to all of the people. That's how you make a covenant. The only way you can make a covenant with the people is if the people is present, correct?
Yeah.
All right, but watch what's taking place. What I'm submitting to you today, before we even get into it, that the voice that you heard from the trumpet was the Creator reciting the 10 Commandments. That's what you heard. Now, what day would be worthy of a memorial than the day that we received the commandments of the Most High and his voice?
Wow.
The trumpets blew. The call of the trumpets blew. So this is why the day is called Yom Teruach, or day of the noise, or day of the blowing. You follow me?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
You're on fire.
Is it clearing up a little bit now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what the Jewish man said to you. I am Hebrew by blood. It's given to me to give unto you the word of the Almighty. Let's read on, please. Let's see where we at. Back up a verse and start all over again. And let's lead into where we are.
Exodus 19 and 16. And it came to pass in the third day, in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mountain, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, to meet with Yah. And they stood at the nether part of the mountain, and Mount Sinai
Was all together on smoke. The whole mountain was on fire. The mountain was up off of the ground, family. I need y'all to understand what's going on. The mountain had raised up off the ground, and it was on fire, and the cloud was above it, and all this noise and quivering and shaking, and the voice coming from the clouds. Man, who would believe something like that? The people couldn't believe it. They was astounded, unbelievable. And watch what happens. Read on, please.
Let me start that over. Exodus 19 and 18. And Mount Sinai was altogether on the smoke, because Yah descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spoke, and Elohim answered him by a voice.
What?
And Yah came down upon the Mount Sinai on the top of the mountain.
On top of the mountain.
And Yah called Moses up to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up.
And Moses went up.
And Yah said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yah to gaze, and many of them perish.
Read on.
And let the priests also, which come near to Yah, sanctify themselves, lest Yah break forth upon them.
He said, if they don't sanctify themselves, I'm going to kill them. That's how important it is that you approach the Most High in the right condition. If you're not right, then just get up and acknowledge him. Let him know that you are mindful of him. Just get up and acknowledge him. Sisters, when you're on your nida, you're on your menstrual cycle, get up at those times and just prostrate yourself, bow yourself before the Creator, and thank the Most High. Toda Abi. Lay back down, go back to sleep. But let him know that you're not forgetting him. Don't never make the Most High feel like you're not paying him his proper attention or his proper respect. He's high on respect. The Most High is high on respect. Read on, please.
And Moses said unto Yah, the people cannot come up to the Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And Yah said unto him, away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priest and the people break through to come up unto Yah, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them.
Keep reading. What did Moses say to the people? Read on.
Exodus 20, verse 1. And Yah spoke all these words, saying, I am Yah, thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other God for me.
Now all these things is what the Most High is saying through the sound of a trumpet blast to the people of Israel. Read on. I bet you never knew it was delivered to us like this before, did you?
Mm.
I know.
Mm.
Read on. That's why it's important you tune in to Prince's classes. Read on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yah thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Creator thy Elohim in vain.
Thou shalt not take the name of Elohim, of Yah thy Elohim in vain. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Let's stop for a second. Everybody get Exodus the 20th chapter, verse 1. We're going to recite this together. Please. There's something new I want to do in Israel. So let's do it. Everybody got it? Exodus the 20th chapter, verse 1. Some of you may know it from memory. Y'all ready? Let's start all over again. Read it, please. Everybody read at the same time. As loud as you can.
Exodus 20, verse 1.
All these words saying,
I am Yah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Thou
Thou
shalt
shalt
not
have any God before me.
Thou shalt not make
Make
unto
any
thee
and
any
breathe
graven
image,
image,
or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, them,
is a jealous Elohim,
visiting
visiting the iniquity of the fathers and the
of the children,
unto
unto the third and fourth generation of them that
of them
hate
that
me,
hate me,
and show mercy to the thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take my name
Yah,
in vain.
I will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor out and do all thy work.
but on
The
the
seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy Elohim, and thou shalt do any work, thou
with thy son,
nor thy son nor thy daughters,
or manservant, maid servant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is in thy gates.
for 6 days
Jehovah made heaven and earth.
in the city,
And all
all
that
that
is
is
in
And rested on the
the
seventh
seventh
day,
day.
wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day
and
and
hallowed
hallowed
it.
it.
Stop there for a moment, please. Wasn't that hard? Everybody doing what's right in their own mind at the same time, trying to walk in unison. Wasn't that hard? That's why only one person needs to be doing this job. And everybody else just needs to hear the voice and do what's being said. You understand? That's why we need to learn to work together. Because if we learn to work together and we truly got that right spirit, then we can all recite it together and it'll sound like a song rather than a bunch of confusion. Did anybody understand what I just said?
Okay.
What did I just show you? I showed you the nation of Israel today. Camps over here, camps over there, Knesset over there, Knesset over there. Everybody doing their own thing, and we look like a bunch of confusion to the outside nations.
But let me ask you a question. You know, I like to ask questions. Who's the man?
Why does anybody have to be the man?
Okay.
I just said to you, if we all come together in unison, that means we have to learn the way. Let's do what the Most High said, what the prophet said, and let the Creator be the man.
I understand.
Let's let the Creator be
Let
the
the
man.
Torah be the God.
That's right. There has to be no big you or big I. It can be us. There's no I's in us. There's not even an I in we. What do they call that? When naturally things fall into place. The natural order of process, something like that. It'll happen on its own. The Most High, as we said earlier, He will acknowledge who He wants to be in a position with the rest of us as a voice. He'll do that. Let's let Him do that. But it is our job to begin to come together, to work together, to unify together, and cry out to the Most High for His deliverance. And He'll do the work.
We can't even agree on a path. We just read this last night and today. It's clear as day. Right? It's clear as day. What we just read is our only salvation.
Clear to you, not clear to them.
But we just read it.
I understand.
You understand
It's
what I'm
clear
saying?
to us. It's not clear to those.
I'm not even looking on my page right now. But if I bet you I go in there, I'll see somebody disagreeing with the clear path of what we need to do.
That's correct.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
This is what we need to do. We have to come together
Right.
and let the Most High work out the differences.
Okay.
Pick up where we left off, please.
Sabbath is Shabbat.
12.
On
Exodus
12.
Exodus 20 and 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon the land which Yah thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's.
Now here comes the rest of the story. Focus in, family, and pay attention. What does it say?
And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning.
They all saw the thundering and the lightning. Wait a minute. Read that again.
And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay.
A lot of us don't even, we read right over that and pay that no attention. What's wrong with that verse? Somebody tell me what's wrong, not you. Somebody tell me what's wrong with that verse.
Is it saying like everybody heard the commandment?
Read it, sis, and then tell me what it says. There's no need to guess at it. Read it again. What does it
And all
say?
the people saw the
See
thundering
thunder.
and the lightning.
That's right.
Can't see thunder.
Can't see thunder,
Oh.
Yeah,
but yet we did.
Mm.
We did. We saw the thunder. You can't see thunder. Think about it. It's amazing. This book is amazing. Some of the things that we experienced is beyond our understanding. Read on, please, and let's finish this portion out. We saw all these things, and it brought fear upon us. But watch what happened.
And the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off.
Now, this is to let you know that the commandments was given to us at that time. As much as you want to say, Prince, no, that's not where the commandments was. You can say whatever you want. It picks right up where it left off. To let us know that the commandments was being given to us at the foot of the mountain, where in our presence, the Most High spoke unto us. We heard the words of the commandments in our ears, and we agreed. Read on.
19. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear.
We were afraid. Moses, you speak with us, and we'll hear. But let not the Creator speak to us no more, because we are afraid. Read on.
But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die.
Now, what day is worthy of being called a day of remembrance of the blowing of the shofar more than the day that we received the commandments? Was the shofar blown on that day? Exceedingly great. That might have been the loudest shofar they ever heard on the earth. That shofar blast probably went out for thousands of miles. Read on, please.
And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yah said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
He did what?
Talked with you from
The
heaven.
Most High spoke with us from heaven. Did he speak to you? Did he speak to you and you? Okay, let's see. Read on, please.
Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of the earth shall make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thy oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by step unto mine altar, that thou nakedness be not discovered thereon. Ain't every altar that the preachers preach on has been built?
Good point.
You finished?
Yeah, that's it for the 20.
Are there any questions?
That was my question.
But in this, I got a question, but I already know the answer.
Oh,
He spoke to everybody.
that's right.
If there's forever, the Israelites that weren't there, you understand what I'm saying? If you had daughters and sons on the way, when he spoke to you, he spoke to them.
The Most
Every
High
spirit.
spoke to every issue of birth that exists in that individual.
Right.
Every issue. And through that generation to that generation to that generation,
All the way down.
that was contained within that one man who stood at the foot of the mountain, the Most High spoke to them all.
Yeah.
So that means that he spoke to us as well.
Right.
The Most High says that I speak not just with you today, but with those who are not here today. How did he do that? It's because everything that a man carries within him for 1,000,000 generations to come was spoken to at that moment. For example, my son. The Most High spoke to me, and my son was within my loins at that time, and that means that the Most High spoke to him. And every child that he has, that means the Most High spoke to that child, and so on and so on and so on, because the Most High proclaimed it. Because he said it was so, not just because I say it so. You follow me? Like I'm speaking to you. I don't have the power or the might to speak to your descendants to come from you within your loins. Because they haven't been born yet, they can't hear my voice. So I'm only speaking to you. But the Most High had the ability, as he said, to speak to those who are not here today. Meaning that he had to have spoken to the womb of the man. And spoken a word that would vibrate within his inner parts and go through his lineage throughout all eternity. So all of us made that covenant with the Most High. And it's for us to all keep the covenant of the Creator and return back to Him.
That's why a lot of us are coming awake now, because we remember.
That's why we're waking up.
We remember what we knew back then.
That's right. We were those people back then.
Hear the words. Go
We
ye
are
in.
our forefathers.
So, right.
That's why we're
That's
waking up now.
That's why we waking
Exactly
up.
why.
The Europeans try to hide this. They try to camouflage it. They try to do whatever they can do so that we wouldn't get it back. But we getting it back. We getting it back in record-breaking numbers. But the problem is, when we get it back, we want to gravitate and bring something else with us as we come back to our rightful state.
But also, this is just a theory. I think, because I'm really hard on Christians, especially Christian flavored Israelites, I call them. The trauma, like it's the new improved Christian flavor. The trauma, our slavery trauma, that was beaten to us, the Christianity, is still there. You understand what I'm saying?
It is.
And that's our, like I'm super confident. You understand what I'm saying, in my culture. But that what do you call it? That lack of confidence that we have in our culture that slavery gave us. You understand what I'm saying? That acceptance of the white deity or the white man is what keeps people, like they got one foot in our culture, then they need that crutch. You understand what I'm saying? They need that. Even if they color the white man in, they still need that Yeshua, that Jesus crutch, like I was saying last night. So we totally accept our rightful culture and what just happened here. Like, yo, we are the ish. You feel what I'm saying? The Creator spoke to us. We synced it, like they say. That's the confidence we're supposed to have in this. So don't lean on that. Oh, we need to, we, like you just said, we need a white man to go speak for us, and in his name, we deal with the Creator. No, He gave it to us, we run it with it. You feel what I'm saying? So, no more of that Christian flavored Israelite stuff. We just going all out. You feel what I'm saying? Going all out.
Go all
We
out.
accepting it.
The Most High and the Most High alone.
Exactly.
Any other?
Just the thing, the Most High, I always say it. There's nothing standing next to that. You say it when you call on the Most High, the Creator. You got nothing else. You can't put nothing up there. It's all the way up there. There's nothing above it. But
And nothing even comes close to it.
exactly.
Anyone else? Any other comments? What did we learn today? How do we feel about the lesson?
That's powerful.
Yeah, that's,
And I done read that chapter so many times.
yeah,
Isn't that
and
normally what happens in class? That's normally what happens. You read something 15, 20 times, but you hear from Prince is like a totally different story. You're like, damn, I ain't never even seen it. Was that there? No, you just put that there, Prince. Yeah,
But I feel
everybody
you want to,
can
I
read.
care.
And
But you told me about it.
Isaiah 30 and 21 says, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. That's like when you speak it to the loins. It's like when we hear that sound, when the Most High calls us, we're going to know that that's the way to go.
That's right. And a lot of people hear it, but they are stubborn to follow and obey it because they're afraid. They're afraid to let go. Just like my video from last night. They are afraid to let go.
I think well, I can talk from experience on that. I know when I first started studying with Prince and everything, and I first came in, I was, Yeshua, all that, I was there too, so I can't really, but it's it's just, I feel as though we've been taught that for so long, in my case personally, when I came in, I believed that was the Son of God, so I didn't want to do anything to upset that, meaning as I thought if I, would say, well, this and that, then I'm disrespecting some higher, you know what I mean? So I don't want to do that and bring nothing upon myself because I'm thinking that I'm doing something, if I'm denying, JC, then I'm really, because that's a high, that's disrespectful, so forth and so on. But like Prince told me, you got to go to the Most High and let him reveal that to you. Because like I said yesterday during the class, and I said, I'm thankful myself that the Most High awakened me to that. You know, Prince told me that, but I was struggling. And I had to go to the Most High, and he awoke me to that, because the reason why I have compassion for those in that matter, because you can't do it by yourself. You have to go to the Most High. You have to ask for direction for him to reveal that to you, because it's hard just to come out and say, I'm not doing it, because we were taught so long that that's who you respect. That's who you ask for forgiveness. Do you need him, or if you don't have him, this is gonna happen to you. You can't get to the Father through him. And when you get that doctrination, and when you first find out that you don't need that, is a kind of a culture shock to you. Like, wait a minute, you telling me that I don't need nobody to die for me, or I don't, what are you talking about? This is my whole life now, and I'm told that if I don't do it this way, then I'm going to hell. There's no other way about it. Right. You know what I mean? So how can I now just say, I don't need him? You know what I mean? I don't need him at all.
If I can.
And so you have to...
I want to ask you a question if I can.
Oh, what's that?
What was it that you read or that you heard that convinced you?
Well, see, when I first started with Prince, I told Prince about it, and he said, well, Prince told me, so why do you need that? And I said, well, that's the Son of God. And he said, Prince, you sure about that? You sure about that? And I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he said, well, you need to go and read. And then when I read the verse, when it was telling me that, we come to the Most High, as long as we come to the Most High in sincereness, and we ask for forgiveness for our sins, and from that point on, we walk to a different path. There's nowhere in there that is telling me you need some blood.
You remember what verse that was?
Or you need somebody. It was in Ezekiel, I believe it was. No. Am I correct?
What verse are you speaking of?
Probably 18, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Ezekiel 18. Yeah. But there's no blood in there. There's no and then also, I don't remember the verse completely, but
Start at 21.
But it tells us
Start
that
at 20.
Yeah, 20.
no man can die.
Ezekiel 18, 20.
18.
Yeah, what we talked about last night. Yeah, no man can die for your sins. You know what I mean? Period. It's not going to be accepted in the Most High eyes. So that alone, you know what I mean, is just debunking everything. If it's already saying nobody can die for your sins, then how can boy die for my sins? If the Most High said he can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't, you got to look at it you can't take it like, what a pastor say or what somebody say. When you read that in the book, it's, you got to go for what the book say. You can't just say, well, somebody says something and I've been taught something. But then what the book say, you got to go by what the book say. You got to go by what the Most High say. There's no other alternative but to go by what he say do.
And the biggest scripture also about with that is Malachi 3 when he said, I change not.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I change not. So if the prophets ain't have, if they weren't talking about Yeshua and nothing like that throughout the Tanakh, you don't hear that. So if they not talking about it, and the Most High don't change.
Right.
And second of all, he told Daniel, shut the book. So where does New Testament come from?
Right.
He told Daniel, close the book. You know what I mean? So if he told Daniel, close the book, then the book should be closed at the Tanakh, period. It should be closed.
And you got to ask yourself logically, why would our captives give us a clear shot to the Creator?
Exactly.
Why would they give you the key to our freedom? They're just here for confusion.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They want to put this shady white character made out of wood in front of you.
And
And then have you off your thing.
Deuteronomy tells us put in stone.
Exactly.
That's the cobblestone, and that's that cross.
It's gonna
you can't get it no other way.
Right. So part of that thing, when you like joke around and say the princes can't work for anybody or the priest can't work for anybody, is because you gotta be clear-minded. It's gotta be what you do and the Creator. You can't have somebody else in the middle of that situation. If you're a high man in Israel. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what happens with this Christian flavored Israelite situation. They have something blocking them from the Creator. They have these so-called Greek writings. They don't have a straight, clear path to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes sometimes you appear to me like, yo, but I see it now. You're like, it's revealed to me. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, man, this dude over righteous. But then the way you do it, it makes me see stuff that's right there in front of me. I'm like, yo, this brother's mind is super clear.
Come on, man. You're
No, I'm not going. I ain't over here like, no, but I'm telling you.
You're going to make me blush.
It's like, because you told me something before. Like, he was like, you get, I'm just going to go, this is 10, 20 years ago. You don't get tempted by something you don't like.
That's right.
Like the adversary ain't gonna be like, yo, man, here's some chocolate cake and some what's the name. Like, no, I don't like chocolate cake. He's like, yo, man, what about this lemon frosted? Boom, yeah, all right, now where we going? I'm just giving you that example, but I digress. You and the way you're moving you're giving like a clear path to the Creator. And take all that cloud that, you know how you used to move. All that cloud is off, and you're straight with the Creator. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know you see it in me sometimes. Like, you got glimpses of the clarity, but then sometimes I go left. You feel what I'm saying?
And I'll be round
You know
the
what I
phone.
mean? Like, yo, the other day, he's like, yo,
what's going on?
man, I'm not, yo,
Something ain't
going
right.
on.
What's up?
I said, something going on. I was like, you all right over there? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. Then I had to call him back and be like, yo, man, my inbox is looking crazy right now. This is happening. I was like, yo, but he knew. He's like, man, something off. And I was like, yo, I had to call him back like 20 minutes later. Yo, you by yourself? Because I'm the wrong dude to talk to a speakerphone. Because I'll let it out. I was like 16 shots. Like, boom. So I talked to him. He's like, yo, man, you got to, you know what I mean? Let that go. That's it. Because I don't want anybody on the internet talking about, yo, this boy, wow. But the way you moving, and people need to understand, it takes that film. You know what I mean? Not saying he close to the Most High, but it takes all that garbage off. You feel what I'm saying? When you pray more and you get rid of all those deities, you have anything before the Creator, and you just focus on the Creator, that's why he's able to pull those little gems out. You feel what I'm saying? Like I read that 1,000 times. I probably read it before you read it, but when you get that clarity of thought, that's what it is. And that's why the Christian flavored Israelites will never have a true understanding of what they're reading, because the more they go into that, the cloudier it gets, the more fluff is on it. And it's just padding your thing so you don't understand what the Creator's trying to give you. And that's the simplest thing I can say. You see what I'm saying? Take that book, that part that's on the back of the regular, the mixed up Bible, rip that off, start with the Torah, and you won't even need that other part.
At the end of the day, it's all about, it's going right back to cleansing.
Exactly.
Because we have so much filth inside of us.
Right.
The more we learn, that learning is part of the cleanse, because we're learning how to get rid of the filth inside of us. The more filth we get out of us, the more we have room for the Most High to come in and connect with us like He's doing.
Okay. Right. And I'm going to say another thing that I learned. And this is going to the diet part. Man, I love fried chicken. I love cheeseburgers. I've been, I went down, stayed a week down there. Man, I eat vegan food all the time. One day I did sneak off. He took me to I got some fried chicken the night before I left. He because the fried chicken joint was right across the street from the hotel. He's like, man, you want that slop? Go get it. Got it. But what I'm trying to tell you about the food, the chicken, and the beef, whatever it is, it clouds your judgment. It clouds your mind. You get you're not sharp as you think you are. You know what I'm saying? You can do it in moderation. But if you eating fried chicken every day, man, you cloudy. And that cloud is stopping you from being righteous. I'm not telling y'all go all vegan, because, I might have a cheeseburger tomorrow while watching the game. But I'm telling you, cut out the excessive meat and snacks and all that, and you'll get closer and be understanding the stuff you need to do. Because you get something called, it's like a brain fog. You feel what I'm saying? It's a fog on your mind, and you ain't seeing stuff clearly.
I learned, but particularly, I had to come to this realization. Like I was telling the brother that I'm switching slowly but sure. Like I say, like half the week I eat my greens, and you know what I mean. Because I'm trying to get away from that because I come to realize that adversary, he does so much stuff to us. So why wouldn't he play with our food? Yeah, play with everything else.
Right, exactly.
We gotta eat to live. So why wouldn't he put his hands in that too?
Gotcha.
When he playing anything else, you gotta think about it like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Why wouldn't if he do anything else to mess with us, to keep us away from the Most High, all type of stuff that he do? Why wouldn't he put his hands on our food?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be the main target?
Exactly. You know, I had to think. You think about that. Like he do so much other stuff. You think he not touching that?
Exactly.
You think he ain't putting that in there? Like one day I went to the supermarket. We all know what a chicken look like.
Bro.
I seen some chicken wings like this big.
Look like turkeys.
Man, like come on, that's not even normal. Like something ain't right. There's something that's going on, man. Because how a chicken wing like a turkey wing?
Yeah.
And we're in the supermarket now. I'm not in a little, this is where you're supposed to get the good food at. I'm not in no crazy place. I'm in a supposed to be FDA, in the supermarket. And they got chicken wings this big. Like, and it's not no turkey wings, it's a chicken wing. That don't make sense.
So the key is what I'm saying is you gotta walk closer to the Creator. Take a page out of this man's book. But everything, 99.9% of what the white man doing is to keep you away from the Creator.
Right.
Because as long as you away from the Creator, you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm worried about my car out there, or this chick on my phone, or this anything, is the further I'm going away from the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where this man's walk is noticeably different from the last 3 years. He done pulled that cloud. He done got that off, and now he's walking to the best I can see. I'm peeping you, but you go on point. I just need to get there. We all do.
Yeah.
That's it.
When you change your life for the Creator, people who have not changed their lives for the Creator for real, will become envious of you. And they will begin to speak ill of you and try to get others to turn from you. And a lot of these people will be the same people that say shalom to you. Or he thinks he's this. Or she thinks she's that. Or don't trust them. They're going to do this to you. They're going to deceive in this manner. And it's because they haven't cleaned their spirit. They're not real, not true. They become envious of you. It's really that they want to be you or be more like you. But they can't. They realize it. And it's a form of jealousy and envy that comes up inside of them. And they try to get you to look at that person the way that they want you to look at that person. And not for who that person really is. Oh, he thinks he's this, watch him. She thinks she's that, watch her. And they try to destroy you. It ain't nothing but the adversarial spirit working through them. But if they're good enough, if they're wise, and a lot of them are, they will convince you that that individual is not worthy even listening to. Don't trust them. Stay away from them. And you'll end up staying away and become just like them, sinning. Evil sin over and repetitive sin. And then you'll get accustomed to it and it becomes secondary in your lifestyle. It's no problem for you now. You do it without even thinking twice, you're doing it. But that brother or that sister that was elevating, trying to bring you up as they went up, that you separated from, you grow to despise them. You grow to not trust them, to dislike them, to not even want to be in their presence. And it's really because the demon that possesses you is at odds with the spirit that possesses them. And you don't know it. You don't see it. Because we don't deal with that spiritual realm. We deal with the physical realm. Are there any other questions? Any comments?
Are you any questions in the chat?
There's a lot of stuff in the chat that I couldn't take the time to read.
Okay.
So I don't know. There may be questions there. If you guys can pull them up and see them, read them, then I can try to address some of them.
Shalom. I'm hearing a lot of hypotheticals regarding whether a man can die for another man. So I have one. Why were animal sacrifices introduced?
Why were animal sacrifices introduced? Because that's what the Creator required of us at that time. But there are too many times when the Most High says you don't no longer need that. There are no more animal sacrifices needed.
I think it's Hosea 1 or Hosea 10.
You want to find it and read it?
Okay.
I mean, we just read the whole thing, that whole video we did last night was in reference to why no animal sacrifice was needed and nobody had to die for your sins. Matter of fact, on the Day of Atonement, in Leviticus, the 16th chapter, the scapegoat was taking on the sins of the whole nation. And he wasn't even killed. He was set free in the wilderness to run free. So why did the Most High, why of all of a sudden did somebody have to die for your sins? The Most High never required that. Read on, please.
What was Hosea 10?
What do you want? Hosea 1, Hosea 10.
I'm at both. We trying to double check.
What verse you looking for?
When it said, it was, I can't remember word for word, been a while, but that's what he was literally saying, that he didn't require sacrifice, he required obedience. But he said sacrifice wasn't needed. I'm trying to find, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, there's all kind of places. You can read 2 Chronicles, the 7th chapter, the 14th verse. You can read Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. You can read, so many places. Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, 21, 22, 23, 24.
You can pull up Ezekiel from last night.
Yeah. A lot of places
you can pull that up from last
where the
night.
Most High tells you don't need a sacrifice for the remission of your sins. We did Isaiah.
Let's just pull it up.
We did Isaiah, the 6th chapter last night.
Just pull it up from last night.
Now, we don't need to go over all this. He just watched the video and catch up. We've been here for a long time, and a lot of people dropping off. But we've covered all those things in the last video, and it will do him good to look up why we sin. The last video we just did last night, it says why we sin. Just read that video. Well, that wasn't why we sin. Wasn't last night. Why we sin was the last Shabbat. But he can watch the video that says something like what did I name that video? Conference, conversion, just talking, conversation. Yeah.
Discovery.
Yeah, just community conversation, something like that. Or you can go to the YouTube video, and I just posted it last night on the YouTube video in Prince Israel on YouTube, and you can watch the whole video. And it'll answer most of the questions that you could possibly have about the whole animal sacrifice, the reason why you need JC or anyone to die for your sins.
You don't need.
You don't need them. But the answer's in the scriptures.
I'm like, why keep a middleman, especially after you found out you don't need him?
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
No, that's it.
Any other concerns? May the Most High be praised. Shabbat Shalom Lekim. Now, if you need to know the rest of the holy days, you can go to the One Nation Calendar Coalition.com, OneNationCalendarCoalition.org, and it'll give you a list of all the holy days.
The link is on the video.
It's on this video?
Yep.
All right. Are there any other questions? Let's close it out. May the Most High be praised forever and forever. Shabbat Shalom, family.
I gave it like that. I don't know, on a group on Facebook called 144,000.